perfecting your pincer grasp. So if you grab the feathers on Pedro's back here with your hands, I'm gonna just do one at a time here, and you pluck them out. As you can see, each of the feathers is a different color and a different texture, so that adds some extra fun, like sensory play to the toy. And they each kind of just come out really simply like that. And then kids have fun putting them back in. So I'll just show you, there's 5 holes on his back. Each of the quills is actually numbered too, so you can talk about counting 1 to 5. Maybe I'll be like challenging myself and put them back in order. This one's a 1. Start over here. And as kids are doing this, let me find number 2. 2 is the yellow one. As kids are doing this, they are strengthening their pincer grasp. That is really critical to holding a pencil, as you can see, kind of in this motion, as well as like picking up food. Oops, I broke my rule. I'm gonna go in order. 3. Right here is orange. Holding a spoon, zipping a jacket, things like that. So we're gonna be talking, I'm gonna be a little bit of a broken record today because a lot of these things all work on that same kind of skill set. It's also hand-eye coordination too, getting it right into that hole. So that's how it goes, and as you could see, I was naming out colors, so you can also learn colors and shapes and textures with Pedro, and he's just super fun and so cute, and would also look great on your playroom shelf because he's so friendly. So that is Pedro. So that's like entry-level 18-month fine motor skill development. While we're on that sort of vein, let's talk about Spike. So Spike is similar, but Spike has more quills to play with. This is actually like our OG fidget toy, or a fine motor toy rather, the original. He's adorable little hedgehog with 10 multicolored spikes. Spike actually also comes in a pink and purple and kind of teal variety. So depending on your kid's favorite colors or maybe your playroom theme, you have different choices. All of the holes on Spike's back are numbered. So 1 through 10, you can work on counting. We have 4 different colored spikes, same kind of motion. They're very like cool, ergonomic designed almost to help, hopefully you can kind of see the concave there, help kids place their fingers and pull those spikes in and out. And I really want to show the storage feature without taking all the spikes off, but you can see when you're done playing, all the spikes do come off and they can sit right inside of Spike's back, and the shell snaps right back on. We have been seeing, this is like a real favorite on TikTok right now. A lot of there's these playroom cafes that have Spike in their playroom. They like to play and hide the spikes around the playroom and then find them. So that could be a really fun activity for your little one. This is for kids as young as 18 months. So really entry level again with that fine motor skill. But just so fun, and kids don't even really realize that they're learning a really important life skill when they're playing with Spike because they're just having a good time. Okay. Let's stick with like the 18-month age group and just kind of run through there, and then we'll go up to we have things for kids as old as 4+ today. So Snap and Learn is another great 18-month entry-level toy for kids. We have quite a few Snap and Learns, but today I have 2 of them with me. This is the Snap and Learn Dinos. So if you have a little dino lover in your house, this is perfect for them. I'm gonna grab a couple of them out of here and show you how this works. So it comes with this great storage tub, which I know this is about fine motor, but you can't go wrong with storage, right? So they have a bunch of little dinos in here. You can see they have shapes on their backs, so there is an opportunity to learn about shapes and colors. And then the fine motor aspect is in the pulling open and popping close of the dinos. And they're really fun because they actually can mix and match. So, kids like to get silly and make a purple and yellow dinosaur. Who wouldn't want that? But yeah, this is really good for like a whole hand grasp. As opposed to that pincer grasp we were just talking about, although I suppose you could do both depending on how you hold it. But these are just, really fun, really friendly characters for kids to play with. There are, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of these dinos in here, so 18 pieces, and all sorts of colors. Lots of opportunities to talk about shapes, colors, counting, and they're just really, really fun, and they all store back up in the bucket. And then while we're talking about Snap and Learns, I also have our Snap and Learn counting cupcakes here. I don't have the tub, I just have the cupcakes, but you can see here these look like really fun birthday cupcakes. And we have, if you're a chocolate or a vanilla lover, we have some of both. And these are 3 pieces. So there's the candle on top, and then there's the cupcake and the frosting. And the frosting is actually this really cool squishy texture, so it's a fun kind of sensory toy. And so the fine motor aspect of these is all about putting the cupcake together, and then it takes a little bit of like coordination and hand-eye coordination to get that candle put in there. But they're 1 through 5, so there's also counting. These would be an awesome birthday present, maybe for like a 2-year-old birthday party, because it does obviously look like you brought them 5 cupcakes for their birthday. And you can certainly mix and match the different cupcakes together, but they do also have, each candle has a coordinating color lid. So kids can work on matching their green cupcake frosting with their green candle, and they're just so cute. And there's little numbers on the front as well. So that is the Snap and Learn Counting Cupcakes. I will just pause for a second to make sure there aren't any questions or comments. Okay, awesome. So you are watching Amazon Live with Learning Resources right now, and I just want to remind you to follow us here on Amazon, so you'll be notified when we go live the next time. But we're talking about fine motor and fidget fun today. So I'm going to keep rolling through the items that we have out here. While we're talking about 18-month, I want to hit on the Barnyard pounding bench. So this is a new item this year. Pounding benches are a great fine motor activity for kids. It helps with building hand strength and arm strength, as well as kind of the hand-eye coordination of matching up, hitting the peg with the hammer. So our pounding bench is Barnyard themed. It's so cute. It's kind of inspired by our Peekaboo Learning Farm, which is one of our best sellers. And the cool thing is the pegs are all connected. So I'm going to try to show you how this works with my little hammer. And the pegs are all pounded down now, but they didn't go anywhere. They're just on the other side, so I can flip it and start again. So it's super nice. You're not going to be chasing these pegs around the house. You're just going to be chasing the hammer, I suppose, but the kid's going to hang on to the hammer. And they are numbered on one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the reverse side, there's little farm food here, pumpkins, corn, and the number matching the number on the other side of the peg. So there's opportunities to talk about colors and numbers and all those sorts of things in addition to the fine motor play. So it could be really fun to like play with your child and say, okay, now pound the purple peg. All right, now pound the blue peg. And they're gonna have a great time. You know, kids love making a little bit of noise. It feels like they're making a little bit of a mess and maybe getting some of that like energy out by pounding these pegs, but they're not flying all over the house. And it just looks super cute and fun. And a perfect like little kid-size hammer. I know it looks a little big in my hand, but it'd be perfect for a little 18-month-old, 3-year-old hand. So this is the Barnyard pounding bench. Right, just make sure I hit all my 18-month toys before I move on. I think I did. Let me stay over on this side of the table then. So another really great fine motor activity is using tweezers. And so this is the fine motor feeding friends. I'm gonna have to show you one friend at a time, but basically what you have here is a really cute, oh no, I'm throwing their food around, it's okay. A really cute cat face. We have a cat, a dog, and a bunny, and then it actually is a plastic bowl on the bottom. I'm gonna move Pedro out of the way. Hopefully you can see this. Can they see this okay from this angle? Okay, I'll move over a little bit. So it's a plastic bowl, and you hook your kitty cat face, or your bunny face, your dog face right on top, just like that. And then it comes with counters that are kind of some of these animals' favorite foods. So these are little fish that are for the kitty. I'm gonna leave the kitty right here for a second. And so the whole activity is using these really cool tweezers. These are also kind of like ergonomically designed for little hands, so it helps them kind of model that proper handwriting grasp of a pencil. So use my little tweezers to pick up a food and place it into my friend's mouth here, just like that. And each of the friends has like a bit of a different shaped mouth and face. So it provides not maybe different levels of challenge or different types of challenge. So the kids are gonna have to manipulate, kind of holding those tweezers, rotating their wrists, which is a really good exercise for it. And just even the hand-eye coordination, the precision and the dexterity to make sure they can maneuver those little foods into the animal's mouth. So I just wanna show you too how cute the counters are. There's bones, there's leaves. So you can also kind of teach kids about what kinds of foods animals eat, make sure they're matching the proper food with the proper animal, or they could honestly just have fun and mix and match, because you know kids like to do that kind of stuff. But what's awesome about this set is you actually do get 3 full sets of tweezers along with those 3 bowls and the 3 faces. So you could have 3 kids working on this activity at the same time. So whether you have a few kids at home or you're a teacher in a classroom, maybe a preschool classroom, you could have a small group working on the same activity at the same time and not arguing over who gets to use the fun tweezers, because they are super fun tweezers. So that is the fine motor feeding friends. Just show you one more time the 3 friends that you get. They're just adorable. And kids love these like little animal themes, so they'll totally be engaged in wanting to feed their little friends while we're working on their fine motor skills. And they can do counting and color sorting and all sorts of other things. We always like to pack as much as we can into each one of our toys. That's fine motor feeding friends. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna talk about our sorting. I'm gonna mess this one up. Sorting Surprise Pirate Treasure, I believe is the proper name. And what you get with this one, it's these 5 adorable little pirate treasure chests, which are so cute. They actually have a little keyhole in the front and a little like a little slot on the top. So lots of different fine motor actions you can do with this one. So first of all, they come with each with their own key. So here's the keys to the pirate chest. So let me see, I'm gonna take the yellow pirate chest, and I'm gonna use the yellow key, which is so much in this. It's a triangle. Each of the keys is a separate different shape. So I'm gonna use the key to open my treasure chest, and then inside is actually hiding a little yellow gem that matches the color of the chest. But what also comes with it are pirate coins. So much treasure here. And the coins actually can go into the slot. And they match, there's 2 coins that are yellow, which is this is the number 2 little treasure chest. So kids can practice the key motion as a fine motor skill, putting the coins into the slot is a skill, even just picking up, let me get this guy back out. Ooh, that was kind of spring-loaded. Using your hands to pick up these little counters and little treasure pieces is all fine motor actions, putting it in, closing it up. So there's just so many ways that they're strengthening their little hand muscles, which, like I mentioned a little earlier, is important for writing, like holding a pencil. It's important for zipping a jacket, holding a spoon and feeding themselves. These are things that you might not realize, but they're definitely goals you have for your kids. You want them to be able to do those things on their own later in life. And this is one really fun way for them to help work on those skills, in addition to obviously identifying colors, identifying shapes, and the whole idea of like hide and seek play, peekaboo play, object permanence, like where did that gem go to? Can you find it in the different treasure boxes? These are also, I've seen these used in sensory tables, and I've seen them on a lot of YouTube videos. A lot of YouTube stars like to use the pirate treasure theme. So these are super fun. Definitely recommend picking these up, especially if you have a kid who's into pirates or treasure or things like that. Okay. Any questions, any comments? Okay, awesome. I'm gonna keep rolling then. Let's move back. Let's move this one up to the front. So the next item I'm gonna talk to you about also has awesome tweezers, super fun. And it is called the Blooming Balance Bees. And this is part of our, decided not to talk while I was making noise. This is part of our line of items that are made from recycled plastic. So it's an awesome fine motor toy, but it also is sustainable, good for the earth, and it actually comes with some like kid-friendly sustainable facts in the activity booklet that comes with. So if your kids want to learn about bees and how they're good for the earth, they can find that out through this toy as well. But the primary activity with this one is fine motor based. So this is sort of the balancing bee bloom setup. I'm going to dump my bees out. Give me 1 second here. So it's a bowl that you set upside down, and when you set this blooming flower on it, I'm going to try to show you, it kind of has a wobble and wiggle factor. And so when you are using these tweezers to pick up these adorable little bee counters and place them into this flower, it kind of takes a little bit of balance to make sure that you don't upset the, not the apple cart, but the flower cart here, and tip it over. So it adds a little bit of extra challenge as your kiddo is sorting their bees out. So there's lots of different activities you could do with this. I'm kind of doing the simple version, which is just sorting the bees into their corresponding flowered petal. But there are a whole set of activity cards that come with sorting activities, counting activities, all sorts of different ways to play with the bee counters. These are sort of like patterning activities for kiddos to do. So you can definitely do it that way. You can make up your own activities. We want to, task them with putting 3 orange in the orange petal, 4 reds in the red petal, whatever you want to make up. But what's really fun is when you're done playing, put my little bees back in the center, like they were, and actually everything, the flower folds up, so you can kind of keep your little bees contained while you're not playing with it. And it just is really cool. You could also just use this green bowl as a sorting bowl as well, if you wanted to do something a little simpler without that whole wiggle wobble balance factor. And as I said, that comes with a tweezer, which is great for practicing dexterity. This is a really popular preschool activity to use tweezers to pick up little objects, so this just makes it easier and more fun. And yeah, that's the learning balance space. All right, I guess we'll move over to the other side. So the second kind of grouping of products we have verges more into the fidget play, but fidget play is a really great way to build fine motor skills as well, in addition to like the whole calming and mindfulness piece of playing with a fidget toy. So let's go with these. These are really, really popular. This is the Sensory Fidget Trio, and yes, they are sensory bottles, which are, you know, a popular item for kids these days, but these have kind of a special feature, which is that they explore the senses of sound, sight, and feel, I guess is the right word. So this is the sort of the sense of texture and feel. So there's this bumpy texture that you have on the end of these of the sensory bottle, but you can also feel the weight of the sand as it distributes from one end of the fidget bottle to the other. So you can see that purple sand, and it's, you know, kind of getting heavy now down toward the bottom. It's also like just very soothing to watch it flow through those different little different holes and different chambers within this sensory bottle. So that's sensory bottle number 1. I'm just gonna take a little nap and watch that. This is number 2. This is the sense of sight, and you can see there's blue glitter, and it's probably difficult to see on camera, but there's also really cute little silver smiley faces in there, so the kids can just watch the glitter swirl and change as they move it around. This is really good for a calming corner. I mean, you are using your fine motor skills. This is actually testing my hand here, moving it around. They're also using their hands to do this, so it's definitely working on their wrist strength, their hand strength. That one's really fun. Sense of sight. And then this is sense of sound, so I'm gonna hush up for a second. You get that really cool, almost like a rain bottle sound from this one, but then it has a surprise little twisty sound on the end. So that's kind of a really cool feature I haven't seen in many sensory bottles before. It is really fun to watch too. So these are for 3+, and they're a nice chunky size. They're definitely good for a littler hand. They're a little bit bigger and just really fun to play with. And you could even you could break these up into 3 and give them as a small gift. You could give all 3 of them to one kid, but they're really fun. So that is the Sensory Fidget Trio. And then let's talk about the cool down cubes. This is another favorite for sure. So this is also for, I think 3+, maybe 4+. I might have mixed that up. But there's 4 different cubes, 4 different ways to fidget. And they do come with this nice little tray that they set in, so it kind of keeps them contained on a desk. But let me show you one by one. Scooch you aside here. So you get a slow rise squishy foam. It does have cute little faces on every side. It's got like a little bit of an emotions component to it. You get a little bead sifter, which makes like a pretty soothing noise, and also it's almost like a little bit of a puzzle to get all of the beads to get through the proper size hole to the other side. You get a spinner, and again, this one kind of has little faces, so you can make little mashed up emotions. Maybe you're a winky sleeper, maybe you love sleeping. Lots of different things you can do there, and then it's just fun to swivel that one in the center. And then last but not least, we have kind of this little labyrinth maze. There's a couple little beads in there, and you have to use your, definitely this is the most fine motory one in my opinion, because you have to use your fine motor skills to get those little beads through the maze. There's actually 2 sides to the maze. One's a little bit easier than the other one, and you can also just shake it and force the bead through there, but if you want to be precise about it, you can really manipulate it almost like you would a labyrinth toy. I also love that these 2 that are clear have kind of like this grippy silicone texture to them, which is kind of, it helps the kids like grip onto it, but it also just is kind of satisfying feeling, and adds a little extra something to the cubes. So these are the cool down cubes. These are brand new this year, and they're definitely a top favorite this year. And this is the little tray that they come in. So it's great for like your maybe a desk, like a homework station. It's also great for the classroom because you could set it at kind of like a table of 4, and each kid could have one fidget to themselves. They could choose which one they feel like using that day. So we love the cool down cubes, and they're just also adorable. Can't go wrong. All right. While we're talking about fidgets, let's go to the Rainbow Emotion Fidget Poppers. So these are kind of oversized giant fidget poppers, which is very cool to me. You don't see that every day. And each of them has a unique face on them. So there's 5 emotions that come with this set. There's happy, sad, anxious, silly, and mad. And mad is red, of course. And they're each a different color. And they are just essentially like a giant fidget popper. And fidget poppers, I know kids just like to play with them. They're just fun, but they actually are building their fine motor skills when they're using their hands to pop them in and out. These are also very squishy. They're BPA-free silicone, so they're super safe. But this is, even this is just a really good way to strengthen your hands. But it's also a good way to it's a good executive function tool. It helps kids improve their concentration and focus when they are, helps me improve my concentration and focus, honestly. I have one at my desk. When you're working on something, you're kind of like getting that energy out through playing with this thing in your hands. It definitely has a satisfying pop too. So you're getting that sound feedback when you're popping them. But there's other fine motor things you can do with these that you might want to initially think about, like stacking them. So it definitely takes some coordination. I'm making it probably look a little bit easy because I'm an adult, so I've practiced this before, but for a kiddo, this takes a little bit of coordination and sort of hand-eye coordination, dexterity, to be able to stack these things. So this is another way to go. Obviously, you can also talk about colors and counting with these. We do have a big set of these that comes with 24 or 30 of them in one bucket. So if you want more, if you want to sort more, there's a bonus feeling in that one. You could definitely check that out. But these are really fun for talking about emotions, for building fine motor skills, and for kind of keeping kids' little hands busy while they're working on something else in a way that's not going to be super disruptive to the rest of the class or the rest of the house. Okay, we have 2 more left. They're both food related because we love food related toys at Learning Resources. So let's do our last fidget one, and then we'll do our more fine motory one. So this is the s'mores break sensory fidget set. Apparently I need some food or some water. This is our giant s'more, and you can see it's very squishy, and I am definitely building some grip strength when I'm squishing this guy. So it comes with a s'more. It comes with a really nice cup of hot chocolate with a swirly kind of marshmallow top, and that's a good, this is definitely a rotational type of skill kids could practice, and that would help them use dials and screws and things like that in real life. And then it comes with a swirly cinnamon bun, which is fun to open and close like this. And then it also comes with a ring of cards. This isn't so much fine motor as it is just mindfulness and sensory regulation, but it talks about emotions. It gives breathing activities, yoga activities. There's some breathing boards where you trace a shape while you breathe to help calm. There's even positive reinforcement, mantras in here, all sorts of different ways for kids to practice mindfulness, in addition to just having really a good time with these fidgety toys that are in a really fun theme. What kid doesn't love s'mores, especially as we're getting towards the end of summer? It's the perfect campfire time, and this is way less sticky and messy than a real s'more. Take it from me. So that is the s'mores break sensory fidget set. Really fun, and there's 3 different ways to fidget in here. So you could totally have kids sharing this with a friend, or varying up the way that they fidget to the day that, what they're feeling like doing that day. Okay, last but not least, we have the Helping Hands Snack Friends. So these are 5, I'm gonna actually scooch this back so you can really see what comes with this set. Or 4 rather, of kids' sort of favorite foods. If you have a kid in your house, you can definitely relate to this. So a push-up pop. Who doesn't love a push-up pop on a hot day? A jam jar, which has a really cool twisty sound motion. a applesauce pouch. If you're a mom, you know you've gone through hundreds of these in your lifetime. So it's super fun to squeeze, which is great for building hand strength, but the little lid on top also rotates and spins. And then last but not least, we have the favorite snack bowl that's supposed to not spill, and it's super friendly, has a smile on its face, but it also comes with spoon tweezers, which, I mean, why aren't there spoon tweezers in real life, right? And some cereal, which I'm going to struggle to pick up, but here we go. I'll cheat a little bit. So giant cereal to put into the snack bowl, and then it doesn't fall out, just like the one you used for your kid. So there's, ooh, look, I did it. I did it, you guys. So there's 2 pieces of cereal that fit into the snack bowl. So these each work on different fine motor motions that help kids practice their fine motor skills and improve their hand strength and their pincer grasp and all those things. But they're also really fun play food, so what kid wouldn't want some of these things in their play kitchen, since this is like a favorite on-the-go snack of theirs. Actually, most of these are favorites of theirs. It's very satisfying, actually. So that's the Helping Hands Fine Motor, or Helping Hand Snack Friends, and it's just a fun way to build fine motor skills while playing with your play food. All right, I think I got through all of my fine motor fidget fun today. Do we have any questions from the audience? No? Excellent. Okay, well, I'm so glad that you joined us today. We are going to be doing a few more Amazon Lives over the next few weeks, so please follow us here on Amazon. Your app will notify you when we go live, and you can come check out some of our favorites. We're going to be talking about birthday gifts and all sorts of things over the next few weeks. So please come on back, check us out, and thanks for joining us. And if you have any questions, drop them in the chat.